Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea was one of my all-time favorite sci-fi TV shows. The show was spun off from the 1961 feature film starring Walter Pidgeon. It was created by Irwin Allen, also known as the Master of Disaster. Actor David Hedison originally turned down the role of Lee Crane until he found out his co-star was Richard Basehart. Voyage won 4 Emmys for cinematography and editing. But the props on the show were famous too. They appeared in Lost in Space, Time Tunnel, Land of the Giants, and Batman. And do you remember one of the show's actors, Del Monroe? Well, Del played one of my favorite characters on the show, and apparently he was a favorite of Irwin Allen. Why? Because he was the only actor to appear in both the movie and the TV show. In the movie, he was Kowalski. On the TV show, he was Kowalski. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Of course, we all know who the Beatles are, but do you remember their animated show? No, I'm not talking about the Yellow Submarine. I'm talking about their Saturday morning cartoon. It ran at the height of their fame from 1965 to 1969, but it said they really weren't all that impressed with it. But no matter how you slice it, it was a powerful promotional tool as it featured full-length versions of their songs. And as for the opening themes, the first season used Hard Day's Night into Can't Buy Me Love. The second season used Help, and the third season used And Your Bird Can Sing. Unfortunately, the initial views of the cartoon discouraged the Beatles from wanting to participate in the making of Yellow Submarine. That later changed once they saw it, and that's why you get that little clip of them at the end. And eventually, a couple of the members admitted they actually liked the Saturday morning cartoon. John Lennon said, "I get a blast out of watching them." And George Harrison said, "They're so bad, they're good." Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. It should come as no surprise, surprise, surprise that Gomer Pyle USMC became a classic TV comedy. Jim Nabors was actually discovered singing in a nightclub by Andy Griffith, who then brought him on his show. And eventually, Gomer Pyle was spun off to the Marine Corps. The show was a huge hit and stayed in the top 10 for all 5 seasons. It was interesting that the military-themed show was aired during the Vietnam War, yet they never mention it. A fun yet mysterious piece of trivia appeared on an episode called Payday. In it, you get to see a close-up of Gomer Pyle's Marine Corps paycheck. And on it, he has the middle initial S. I wonder what the S stood for. I've got it. Shazam! Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Did you know that Jed Clampett's mother-in-law was named Daisy Mae Moses, also known as Granny? The role was originally offered to Bea Benaderet, but they felt she didn't quite fit the character, so they gave her the part of Pearl. But it was Benaderet that then recommended Irene Ryan, and what a solid recommendation that was. And although Ryan played Buddy Ebsen's mother-in-law, in real life she was only 6 years older than him. And speaking of age differences, Donna Douglas played a 17-year-old Ellie Mae at age 30. And speaking of Donna Douglas, Levi Strauss said that she did more for the sale of blue jeans in 1 year than Cowboys did in over 100. Weird doggies. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Did you know that Jack Webb's Dragnet originally started as a radio show? When it aired on TV in 1951, both the radio show and the TV show were playing at the same time. When they produced the theatrical version in 1954, that was the first time that a movie was out about a TV show that was still on. Webb's Dragnet started its second run in 1967 with his sidekick partner, Harry Morgan. This Dragnet had a more modern-day hippie culture for Joe Friday to handle. And speaking of hands, did you know that it's Jack Webb's hands that pound in the Mark 7 Limited logo at the end of each show? That's just the facts, man. Which, by the way, he never even said. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. In 1969, Hanna-Barbera produced the Saturday morning cartoon that turned out to be one of mine and many others' all-time favorites. It was called Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? This show had all the bells and whistles of mystery, crime fighting, monsters, and comedy. Now here's some fun facts about the show. Shaggy, who was played by Casey Kasem, was actually named Norville. And you know what Scooby-Doo's real name was? Scoobert. It was also the first Saturday morning cartoon to include a laugh track. Now here's something worth some Scooby snacks. Did you know they were originally written to be a rock band? It's probably good they changed their mind on that. There were plenty of cartoon rock bands at the time.